Good morning. I hope you all have had your morning caffeine.
Welcome to day 3 of Have a Nice Day. It is Sunday, everybody. I am Rainbow Spite. I am joined by
Loose change.
And we will be telling you about all the roller derby fun happening today. We're starting off the morning with the Texecutioners versus Arizona. Haas the Boss and Frida on the line. And Haas the Boss takes the first lead jammer of the game. Haas the Boss into the back of the pack and looking for points. Goes out to the inside, doesn't have to recycle far. Lots of fighting happening between turns 2 and 3 as Haas the Boss finds daylight, finds 4 points. That's the first points on the board for the game. We got a completed star pass on Arizona's side. Miss Murder, now jammer of record. Miss Murder clear on the initial. Call off from Haas the Boss, but not after putting up 4 more points for Texas. That quick first jam brings us 8 Texas, 0 for Arizona. We've got Tropical Mechanica on the line up against West Coast Mafia for Arizona. West Coast Mafia takes lead jammer on the outside line. West Coast, a prolific jammer for Arizona. I've seen West Coast develop over a couple of years. Very impressive speed. Tropical Mechanica headed to the penalty box for a track cut call. West Coast Mafia will join her opponent, which will release Tropical Mechanica. Quick little jammer do-si-do there in the second jam. Tropical Mechanica still looking to complete the initial. West Coast Mafia free to get points. Tropical Mechanica with 2 to beat at the head of the pack. Skatey Katie bracing against Shoreman. They're going to let her go. Tropical Mechanica free to score points on this initial. Once again, in between turns 2 and 3, we've got Skatey Katie, Shoreman, and Colette Razorcat in that pod there. Getting broken up there by Peace War, trying to find Tropical Mechanica some daylight. Mechanica fighting hard once more against Colette Razorcat and Shoreman. A little bit of bridge work being done there by Skatey Katie. Tropical Mechanica goes out behind Shoreman. Going to recycle about 5 feet, not too far, but it allows the pod to reform. 4 points go up for West Coast Mafia. That was a hard 4 points, let me tell you. Into the back there, into the back of the Texas blockers. 9 lives pushed West Coast Mafia out. Tropical Mechanica headed back to the penalty box. 2 points went up for West Coast Mafia, 3 for Tropical Mechanica. Brings our total Texas Rollergirls 11, 6 for Arizona Roller Derby in this second jam. Coming into the third jam, we've got Joss Breaker on the line for Arizona. Tropical Mechanica will be starting in the box. Official timeout for skate maintenance. Good morning to our Twitch feed. If you're watching from home, we're watching Texas Rollergirls versus Arizona Roller Derby, and we are currently in an official timeout.
We do love a good rolling whistle.
We do. With Jaws Breaker on the lines with that power start. Jaws Breaker fighting hard in between turns 2 and 3. I see KTX doing some bridge work there. Jaws Breaker getting put out there by Olivia Shootin' John. Still no lead jammer. Lead jammer has been declared Jaws Breaker just as Tropical Mechanica is released from the box. Jaws Breaker, KTX meets up with KTX, and Olivia Shootin' John goes out here in turn 1.
Both of these teams extremely physical so early in the morning.
I guess they had their coffee. Tropical Mechanica pushing hard at the front of the pack, but Olivia Shootin' John takes the star pass and is now the jammer of record. Jaws Breaker will call the jam after putting up 4 points for Arizona.
Mayhem West with the star for the Texecutioners going up against HaND for the Arizona All-Stars.
I noticed they're both wearing the same model of boot. Interesting facts you notice when you're sitting on the sideline. Mayhem West going to have to cycle well back behind 2x4s. Someone's headed to the penalty box. That is Peace War. And HaND is declared lead jammer.
A little bit of a kerfluffle there right around the pivot line.
That's a good way to describe it for sure.
But HaND able to use that, gets through for that lead.
Mayhem West free on the initial. But HaND will call the jam after putting 4 more points up for Arizona. We've got our first lead change of the game, unless you count the first points scored. Oh man, I can word today. I swear I've got the best words.
Words are hard.
And I want to share them. I do. That is Haas the Boss on the line for the Texecutioners. Arizona fields Scaren Yeager. The whistle blew and the jammers did not go forward. They did go inward. Haas the Boss getting a cycle back behind Ragin Bajin. Meanwhile, you've got Scaren Yeager at the head of the pack taking lead jammer for Arizona. That's 3 in a row. Forearm call assessed on Scaren Yeager leaves Haas the Boss with a power jam. Haas still fighting that tripod of Arizona blockers. Getting a little bit of offense there by Peace War. Haas the Boss clear on the initial in this power jam. Miss Murder headed to the penalty box for a high block. Four points go up for Haas the Boss. Ragin Bajit headed to the penalty box. That was a direction of gameplay call. Scaren Yeager rejoining the pack. Scaren Yeager on the toe stops on the inside line with that Texas Pod. Meanwhile, Haas the Boss in turn 2 beats the last one. 4 points for Haas the Boss. Four points go up for Scaren Yeager. Getting some trouble there from Peace War. Three final points going up for Haas the Boss.
And with that, we have another lead change, the other direction. Texas 22, Arizona 18.
In that one jam, Haas the Boss was able to double Texas's point score.
I want to go back and re-watch those Texas blockers.
Absolutely. That was artwork. We've got Tropical Mechanica jamming for Texas. That's Frida jamming for Arizona. And Tropical Mechanica takes lead jammer.
But there is a star pass to number 7, Skatey Katie for Arizona. However, Texas decides, I'm going to take these points.
I got this. Let's call that. Works for me. West Coast Mafia jamming for Arizona up against Mayhem West from Texas.
West versus West, as it were.
I didn't even notice that. Thank you. West Coast Mafia getting pulled back behind Olivia Shootin' John. Jupiter Moonwalker also in that Texas pod. I see KTX as well. Multiplayer block being assessed on Arizona's pivot. And that is Mayhem West, your lead jammer.
Oh, inside line wide open for Mayhem, picking up a fast 4.
Texas putting on a blocker school there in turn 2. Olivia, go ahead.
Olivia Shootin' John just coming in for that swing and the assist to clear one of those 2 final blockers out for Mayhem.
Ragin' Bajin not letting up on Mayhem West. Mayhem West getting those 4 points, but at what cost? West Coast Mafia once again recycling behind the Texas pod. Mimi Mahler taking Mayhem West out on the inside. Mayhem West recycling well behind the pack. Kind of resetting, as it were. Call off there for Mayhem West. Nets 3 additional points for Texas.
Haas the Boss out there for the Texecutioners. And Jaws Breaker for Arizona All-Stars. Tight little scrum start here as folks are figuring out where they can put themselves. But Haas the Boss says, I'm going to put myself in front of everyone else.
Did you see that nifty shirt whiz Haas the Boss took off of Peace War in that corner? That was nifty.
Oh my goodness. Fancy little toe stop work.
Once again, Skatey Katie accepting the star pass. Now jammer of record for Arizona. Additional 2 points there on that pass for Texas. Arizona held scoreless once more for the third in a row.
But with HaND coming to the jammer line for Arizona.
HaND, another one to watch as Hella plays on several borderless teams as well as Arizona Roller Derby. Forearm call being assessed on Tropical Mechanica. I hope this is not the story of the game. It's disappointing when jammer penalties are what makes it. Ragin' Bajin being assessed a direction call, and lead jammer goes to HaND. White pivot is assessed a penalty, but cannot go to the. Can they go to the penalty box? No, they cannot. It is full of blockers. You can only have 2 blockers down at a time. When the box clears up, they will wave that blocker over. Miss Mimi Mahler. Tropical Mechanica rejoining the fray. Call off there from Tech. Call off there, but Texas puts up 4 points.
To Arizona's 4 as well.
So that was a lot of work for a wash. But it did free Tropical Mechanica from the box, which lets Texas field a jammer this go around. Mayhem West jamming for Texas. Scaring Yeager jamming for Arizona. Lead jammer has been declared, and it is Mayhem West.
Mayhem was hit to that outside, needing to recycle, but did some big stepping on that inside to get through the rest of the pack. Meanwhile, Arizona's got 2 blockers in the box, giving them a little bit of a micro pack out there. And we have an Arizona star pass.
Mimi Mahler now jamming for Arizona. On the line, we've got Haas the Boss versus Frida. Oh, wow. Haas the Boss found the inside, much to their liking, and it was wide open for Haas. Again, with that blocker school coming from the Texas blockers. Haas slices through the pack for 4 big points. That was a zippy call off. Haas the Boss into the pack, picking up 4 and calling it off just before Frida could make the pack.
Team time out being called by Arizona.
There's that rolling whistle. Tells us back to work, folks. West Coast Mafia jamming for Arizona. That is Spread Eagle for the first time this morning for Texas.
I'm enjoying seeing both of these teams sort of expand on their jammer rotations.
Indeed, I see a clear pattern emerging on the Texas side. Don't really see as much of a pattern going on the Arizona side, which is probably a strategic choice. Two by Force taking a seat in the penalty box. Both jammers still in the midst of that scrum there between turns 4 and turn 1, just past that pivot line. A little bit of offensive work from Texas's Blue Jay. And Shoreman headed to the penalty box, direction of gameplay call.
More than a minute in.
Oh, and just like that, a full Arizona box, jammer and all. Lead jammer goes to Spread Eagle. Spread Eagle hits the pack, gets the points, and quits the jam. And once again, Arizona held scoreless. Yeah, all three are still there. Haas the Bus will have the power start in this jam as West Coast Mafia starts the jam in the penalty box. Big spread out pack there. Gonna allow Haas the Bus a lot of room to work. 4 points for Haas. And then we blink, and Arizona's got a full contingent back on the track. West Coast Mafia through the pack and clear on the initial. But 4 points did go up for Haas the Boss on that final pass.
Those two blockers of Lightning the Queen and Mimi Mahler out there for Arizona doing their darndest prior to the rest of their friends being sprung.
Yes. They get by with a little help from their friends.
Jaws Breaker and Mayhem West wearing the stars. Sherman with some great drawback there on Mayhem West. As these pockets start to go a little bit wibbly wobbly and catch up to one another. Slowly pushing through to turn 2.
Skatey Katie at the head of the pack, taking on Peace War for just a brief moment.
Interesting that it's both pivots that just happen to be hanging out there at the front of the pack.
At the front of the pack, just chilling.
Yeah, you know, doing what pivots do.
Showing each other some love. And Peace War doing what Peace War does and knocking Skatey Katie out of bounds. Skatey Katie blocking. Mayhem West at the head of the pack with some help from Goldie Knox.
And Skatey Katie with the star pass. Mayhem West able to clear that pack, pick up those points, and says, to heck with this.
I'm done with that.
I'm done. I will take my points, put them in my pocket, and go back to my bench, please and thank you.
Yes, indeed. Arizona held scoreless once more. This is not a normal story.
Current score stands Texas, 69. Nice. And Arizona, 22.
Helenati jamming for Arizona. Tropical Mechanica jamming for Texas. Helenati looking to stem the tide there. But Tropical Mechanica picks up lead for Texas. Mimi Mahler, the last to beat, being joined there by Ms. Murder at the head of the pack. Direction of gameplay being assessed on Mimi Mahler. Tropical Mechanica resetting to the back of the pack. That's 4 points for Tropical Mechanica. Those Texas blockers giving Helenati some major trouble. Tropical Mechanica picking up 4 points as those Texas blockers also open up the hallway for the passage of that jammer. That's 12 points total for Tropical Mechanica. We are now at the highest scoring jam of the half.
Tropical Mechanica able to do a little just bloop bloop, you know, apparate here, show up over there. We do have a star pass for Arizona. Ms. Murder ends that jam as jammer of note.
It was an 18-point jam for Texas Rollergirls and Tropical Mechanica. That is the highest single scoring jam of this game. Not of the tournament yet. And it belongs to Haas the Boss. Oh, I'm wrong. It was 24 and it belongs to Red Stick Player. Haas the Boss jamming against Skarin Yeager on the line. We were just having a minor discussion of who held the highest scoring of the tournament thus far, and that belongs to Little Miss Maggot of Red Stick.
Love that.
Love that for Maggot. I unabashedly love Maggot. They're a great person. They know too. It's an open secret. Just holding her head in the stance. It's funny.
Haas the Boss being shown the business by all of these Arizona blockers.
And the Arizona jammer, Skarin Yeager, doing some self-blocking action there as well.
You know, it's the whole I'm going to put you here because I want to be able to go over there.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's just their Sunday morning hugs. I don't know.
Could be a little bit of both. Oh, Skarin Yeager having to recycle back behind the Texas pod. Getting put out there by 9 Lives and is that Peace War? Yes, indeed. And Haas the Boss takes lead jammer. That was a hard fought.
That was 1 minute and 35 seconds of fight.
Oh my goodness. 2x4s taking a seat in the penalty box in the meantime. 4 points for Haas the Boss. Woo! Haas the Boss with the little artful apex hop puts up 4 more points for Texas, bringing the total to 95 to 22. Frida versus Mayhem West on the jam line. Mayhem West quickly to the front of the pack and out in front as lead jammer. Frida bumped out of bounds there by Jupiter Moonwalker. 4 points and the call off by Mayhem West. And a new jammer out for Texas. We've got Impact Play taking on West Coast Mafia.
Is this the first time we're seeing Impact Play with the star for Texas this game?
Correct. Yes, this game. Someone's going to the box for a high block, and that is number 37, Aaron Grievances. West Coast Mafia takes lead jammer, looking to end the Arizona dry spell. Arizona dry, who knew it?
Star pass to Warren Peace for Texas.
4 points go up for West Coast Mafia. And the call off.
So we've got about 20-ish seconds. Real quick, this is the thing that's most exciting to me. Arizona currently has 18 penalties. Texas currently has 9.
Right. That is, and I'm looking at jammer penalties, and you've got 3 on Texas's side, 4 on Arizona's side. Nothing, no pattern emerging. I do have an apology to issue to I'm a Blow By Ya. I accidentally called I'm a Ragin' Bajin.
Oh.
I was wrong. I could not see their number. But that's not an excuse. I will do better. West Coast Mafia taking on Haas the Boss at the line. And West Coast takes lead jammer.
Oh, West Coast Mafia pick up a track cut there. Will be reporting to that penalty box, which gives Haas the Boss some, 30 seconds to continue trying to work through that pack of reinvigorated Arizona blockers.
So that's Haas the Boss clear on the initial in the power jam.
With no more lead jam, this will be our first 2-minute jam of the half. It's also our just first jam.
First jam
of the
back.
half.
Yep. And this will make a 2-minute jam, of course. I don't know if you said that. I can't hear you very
Such
well.
a nice little spin move there on the inside by Haas. Being a boss and doing boss things.
Star pass on Arizona's side to Skatey Katie. Skatey Katie through the pack for 4 points for Arizona. West Coast Mafia headed back to the penalty box. However, Haas the Boss says 12 is good. I'm good with 12 and puts and calls off the jam. Actually, that was 2 minutes. My bad. I promised I would do better, and now I'm not doing any better. Back to the jam line, we've got Frida versus Tropical Mechanica.
And Frida. Oh, Tropical Mechanica finds that outside and in literal split second picks up lead. Pack moving pretty quickly. Ooh, nice. Frida
done.
Keeping on those toe stops to that inside outside to pick up points.
So 4 points picked up by both teams on that jam.
Arizona 37, Texas 115.
Mayhem West on the lineup against Hella Naughty. Mayhem West picking up lead jammer rather quickly. Hella Naughty headed to the penalty box. Did you see the hand sign on that one? Four points go up for Mayhem West, so we now have one Texas blocker in the box joining Hella Naughty. Mayhem West with the power jam as lead jammer. Mayhem West in the driver's seat. Four points go up for Mayhem West. Mayhem West puts on a burst of speed to get past Skatey Katie. 4 more points for Mayhem West. No pass, no penalty gets Hella Naughty through the pack. Mayhem West out of bounds. 4 points up for Mayhem West. Arizona held scoreless. On the track, we've got Jaws Breaker up against Haas the Boss.
Two Arizona blockers. Oh, we have a official timeout, which is perfect because then that gives me the opportunity to say hello, officials, and thank you for being here today. The officials that we have helping us on this game number 10 of Saturday here, 10 a.m. start time, Geo Knitter, Morticia, Aaron Burr, Sadie Masochist, Sin Nombre, Terabyte, Riot Earp, McWinkle, Johnny Demonic, Class Warfarin, Miller Light, Andy Oakley, Extra Crispy, Nomad, and Eddie Lizard.
I gotta say something about Extra Crispy. Has some lovely facial hair.
Great.
It's a very well-groomed beard.
Perfect.
And Eddie Lizard in the kilt. The reffing kilt. Hello to Nikki Tricky Savvy on the Twitch feed. We see you. We love you. Thank you for being up early with us. The rolling whistle brings us back to the track. Oh, looks like Helenati is sitting in the... Is that Helenati? That is Helenati. Sitting in the penalty box. So that leaves Haas the Boss with a power jam. And Haas the Boss takes lead jammer. I'm a blow by ya, setting up at the front of the pack with Mimi Mahler. Mimi Mahler going one-on-one with Haas the Boss. Little bit of offensive work there done by KTX. But I'm a blow by ya, puts Haas the Boss out and draws back 10 feet. Four points go up for Haas the Boss. No points for Haas the Boss on that pass. 2 points for Helenati brings the total for Arizona to 39. Texas Rollergirls 135.
Jaws Breaker being joined by Tropical Mechanica, wearing the stars for their respective teams. You go this way, I'll go that way. No, wait, I want to go that way. You can go this way.
Skatey Katie puts Tropical Mechanica back on the outside line. Lead jammer goes to Tropical Mechanica. Tropical Mechanica scoring 4 points. Star has been passed on Arizona's side. Mimi Mahler now the jammer of record. Tropical Mechanica not missing a trick. 4 points go up, and that's the call off. Mayhem West sporting the star for Texas up against Scaren Yeager. Mayhem West having a pretty good day.
Really has been. Continuing to add to that very good day. Picking up lead jammer for the Texecutioners.
KTX headed to the penalty box. That was a forearm call. Scaren Yeager into the pack looking for points and finds 2.
2 points apiece. 2 for me, 2 for you.
Yep, 2 for me, 2 for you, and none for the announcers at this point. It's okay though, we fall in with Team Zebra. We win every game.
Haas the Boss and Frida. Frida just following Haas the Boss.
Haas the Boss to the outside, taking lead jammer.
And star pass to, I think that is Skatey Katie. Please confirm. Yes, it is. Texecutioners apparently attempting to reinvigorate the never really dead, but hit it and quit it, get points, call it off strategy.
Yes, I definitely see that pattern emerging as West Coast Mafia takes the line for Arizona. Tropical Mechanica wearing the star for the Texecutioners. West Coast Mafia being buffeted from one edge of the track to the other. Two pods split wide apart. Bridge work being done by, is that I'm a blow by ya? That is I'm a blow by ya. They gotta let her go. West Coast Mafia taking lead jammer after a hard fight.
That was a very long pack.
That was a really long pack. That was well spread out, and credit to West Coast Mafia fighting hard the whole way. West Coast Mafia picking up 4 points and calling off the jam.
Hella Naughty and Mayhem West. Jammers of note for this jam number 9 of our second half. Mayhem West sneaks through on that outside, picks up lead.
Talking points, 2 points go up for Texas Rollergirls. Jaws Breaker rolling up to the line for Arizona. Haas the Boss taking her on. Very scrappy scrum there off the jam line. Ms. Murder headed to the penalty box. Haas the Boss picking up a no pass, no penalty, not lead jammer. Lead jammer still available. Lead jammer goes to Arizona's Jaws Breaker. Points go up for Haas the Boss.
Official timeout.
That's Skier and Jaeger up against Tropical Mechanica at the line. Or just off the line, rather. Lightning headed to the penalty box. Tropical Mechanica at the head of the pack. Going out of bounds. Tropical Mechanica declared lead jammer. Whistles flying everywhere. Tropical Mechanica recycling to the rear of the pack. 4 points go up to our Tropical Mechanica as Scaren Yeager takes a seat in the penalty box, leaves Tropical with a power jam situation. 4 more points for Tropical Mechanica. This is, of course, an opportunity to widen that lead. Four points go up for Tropical Mechanica, making a total of 12. Scaren Yeager out of the box and using Amablobaya as an offensive missile. And then all of a sudden, nobody was moving. But a lot of work was being done.
Very much energy being expelled.
Two minutes was up. 3 additional points for Tropical Mechanica.
I feel like that was the longest 2 minutes of my life.
Lord, I agree. Timeout called by Arizona.
And we are going to get back to this hard-hitting roller derby action. Just about 13 and a half minutes remaining in this second half. Arizona 45, Texas 174. We've got Frida with the star for Arizona. And that is Mayhem West out with the star for Texas.
Both jammers trying to come back in. Mayhem West has to go back a little further because Sureman is the one that put Mayhem out.
You know, I don't mind when they draw them back to turn 4 because that gives us a great view.
That's true. When they draw it back to turn 4, we can see exactly who's doing what. It's when they're in turns 1 and 2 we get a little dicey. Got to get our goggles going, or binoculars. Frida pushing hard. Olivia shooting John, and Jupiter Moonwalker not making it easy. In fact, making it really, really difficult.
Frida lost that star for just a moment, went and picked it up. Kind of need that if you want to score points.
Yep, that's an important tool right there.
And we want people to score points.
Points is good. Still no lead jammer. 26 seconds left in the jam. And it's Frida.
As per usual, by you saying something, the exact opposite happens.
Everybody's cycling all the way back into turn 4, and that's the jam. No points for anybody. No points for nobody.
Well, that may have been scoreless. It was not pointless.
It was not pointless. It was double donuts. We play for donuts around here.
Full contingent of skaters on that track. Spread Eagle and West Coast Mafia.
Spread Eagle going out of bounds because of I'm a Blow By Ya. And West Coast Mafia takes lead jammer.
West Coast Mafia being an extremely effective jammer this game for Arizona.
Nine lives drawing back. Arizona's West Coast Mafia at the head of the pack. We've got, is that Mimi Mahler? It looks like Mimi Mahler. I'm going to say it's Mimi Mahler. Gonna have to let her go, but that's the jam. Once again, oh no, we had 3 points scored on Arizona's side. That ends a dry streak for Arizona. And the second jam in a row that Texas has been held scoreless. Haas the Boss jamming against Hella Naughty. Ooh, little ballet move there by Haas the Boss, and there's lead jammer. Very fast feet. Hella Naughty gets a handful of Olivia Shootin' John. But Olivia Shootin' John's headed to the penalty box. Haas the Boss puts up 4 points. Hella Naughty gets a little push from Skatey Katie and clear of the pack. Very fast pack right now. Well, not anymore. 2 more points up for Haas the Boss. I believe that was 1 for Arizona. No, it was a 0. Sometimes it's also hard to see hand signals from the back of the room. I got to get my glasses checked.
Jaws Breaker and Tropical Mechanica. Tropical Mechanica hit to that inside, recycling back to that jammer line. Olivia Shootin' John released from that penalty box, so there to offer some assistance, but picks up a forearm and will return to that penalty box.
Massive blocking by I'm a Blow By Ya draws Tropical Mechanica back into turn 4. And Arizona picks up lead jammer. Congratulations to Jaws Breaker. That was nearly a minute.
Yep.
Jaws Breaker through for 4 points. Apex jump gets Jaws Breaker past Peace War. 4 more points for Jaws Breaker.
Let's see what those points end up being. One more point for Arizona for 9 in total, holding Texas scoreless that jam. Texas at 180, Arizona 57. As we tick down to that 6-minute mark of period gameplay.
I see Mayhem West wearing the start for Texas, and that's, I believe, Skaren Yeager, excuse me.
Quick official timeout. I see over in turn 2 what I assume is supposed to be a red stick. But it just sort of looks like a breakfast donut to me right now.
It looks like a bagel dog. Oh, hey, don't forget, pick up your Minnesota roller derby merchandise over there past turn 2. You can pick up a Have a Nice Day t-shirt, a Minnesota Laser Loons t-shirt, etc.
Bring home some merch.
Yeah, bring home a t-shirt. Add it to your collection.
Five seconds. And away we go. Jammers did not change. Mayhem West shuffling towards that top of the pack, picking up lead for Texas. Both of these jammers have cleared that initial, which means points could happen. Texas picking up 3. Calls it off. Holding Skaren Yeager to 0.
On the line, we see Haas the Boss versus Frida. We've seen this pairing at least one time before. Whistle blew and 9 Lives just kind of closed in on Frida like a magnet. It was fast.
Again, I feel like this is just like they want Sunday morning hugs.
Track cut for Frida, courtesy of Peace War. Haas the Boss on the toe stops and out of the pack.
I would take Sunday morning hugs from Haas the Boss and Peace War.
Indeed.
Something cool happened.
It was way over there.
There were people in my way.
Haas the Boss, 4 more points.
Star pass to Lightning the Queen for Arizona. Whew. Three points for Arizona, bringing them to 60. 15 for Texas to 198.
We see West Coast Mafia on the line taking on Tropical Mechanic of the Texecutioners. And West Coast Mafia takes lead jammer. Ooh, West Coast Mafia through the pack, picks up 4, calls it off. Texas held scoreless.
Impact play. Wearing the star, pushing at the front of the pack. Hella Naughty with the star. Taking her turn, pushing at the front of the pack.
Whistle's blown. Someone's headed to the penalty box. That is Peace War. Forearm call, I believe. Forearm call being assessed on Mimi Mahler. Still no lead jammer. We are into turn 3 as, oof. Impact play is declared lead jammer. Star pass for Arizona. Miss Murder now jamming. Official review, Texas. Take a quick opportunity at this point. A little less than a minute left in the game. Looking at penalties, just cuz.
Yep.
I see one skater with 6. One with 4. Nothing extreme.
One at 6, one at 5, both of which are on Arizona.
I can't read. I really do need to get my glasses checked.
Arizona also, or excuse me, Texas. Texas? No, I thought it was.
That's Texas. And that's Arizona.
There were multitudes of people walking towards the center calling for an official review.
Yes, that was. We knew we were getting one. I'm told if we are patient, yes, Joss will come and tell us what we missed. Haas the Boss jamming up against Jawsbreaker. Tell us what happened.
Well, that's Jawsbreaker picking up lead, but Texas was looking for a penalty to be assessed for the hit to a down skater. It was not upheld, so Texas lost their review.
Jawsbreaker putting up 4 points for Arizona. Haas the Boss clear on the initial.
Arizona currently standing at 69, 4 points so far this jam as that period clock ticks down.
There was a star pass. Okay, cool. Peace War now jamming, yes.
Period clock has ended, which means we are on the jam clock now. Peace War is jammer for Texas, currently serving in the penalty box. Jawsbreaker picking up 12 points so far.
Haas the Boss taking a seat in the penalty box. Peace War clear on the initial. And that is the game.
And with those whistles, we have an unofficial score. Jawsbreaker picking up 16 points that jam